Hello everyone, welcome you all to today's class. And today we will be discussing what is a combination. Right? You already have studied permutation and some related questions. So today's topic is what is combination, what is the relationship between permutation and combination, and how to distinguish between permutation and combination. Right? So after this, maybe we can take some questions so that no, you really can be able to use combination and the mixed questions and permutation and combination. Okay, so let's begin the class. Okay, so as we have already studied permutation, so let me begin from there. Permutation, what is permutation? So permutation is basically arrangement of, this is arrangement of objects, arrangement of objects taken some or all at a time, right? Taken some or all at a time, all at a time. This is permutation, and we write permutation of n objects taken r at a time. We denote it by npr, and which we define it as n factorial by n minus r factorial. Right? You are clear about this? R is less than equal to n. Right? So permutation basically, from this statement what we can conclude, permutation is basically arrangement of objects, and because of this arrangement, meaning, so we use permutation in various ways. For example, whenever we are forming different numbers from some digits, so because of this arrangement quality we are able to do that. Similarly, whenever we are forming words out of given number of alphabets, again because of this arrangement quality we are able to do that. Okay, whether it is the words with or without meaning, whether it is arranged as per dictionary or otherwise, right? So permutation basically arrangement of objects. So when arrangement of objects concept comes, so arranging something means obviously we have to put that in a particular order, right? So it means order should be taken into consideration. Yeah, whenever we are placing the objects, the position of the object, that matters. Okay, so that's it. In permutation we have studied, and of course we have studied various restricted permutation, circular permutation, everything. Okay, so now let's come to combination. So whenever it comes to combination, so combination is basically what? Combination is basically, it is the selection of objects. It is the, combination is the selection of objects, selection of objects taken some or all at a time. Taken some or all at a time. Okay, and we denote combination of n objects taken r at a time by NCR, or sometimes in some books you may find like this also. Okay, both the notations are fine. Either you write like this or you write like this, right? So this is combination. Now next thing is how to, how to relate, yeah, what is the relationship between combination and permutation. Okay, so combination basically, whenever we say this selection of objects, so we are selecting the objects. Suppose for example, n objects, out of n objects you are selecting r objects, and obviously here r should be less than equal to n, right? Suppose in the class there are 47 students. Yeah, there are 30 students. So out of 30, maximum you can select 30 students. Out of 30, you cannot select 35 or 40 students. Is it clear? So it means r less than equal to n. So it means if r greater than n. So it is not possible. So it means number of combination of n objects taken r at a time when r is greater than n can be considered as 0. It is not possible basically. Okay, so basically this is combination. Now coming to the relationship between permutation and combination. Suppose you have n objects. You are selecting r at a time. Okay, like this. Now here are objects, here also are objects, like this. So in this way, number of combinations is NCR, because selecting n objects, selecting r objects out of n, that we call combination of n objects taken r at a time, right? So whenever n objects are there taken r at a time, it means number of combinations NCR. Okay, now here you see how many ways these objects can be arranged. So if you look at these objects now, each combination contains r number of objects, because out of n we are selecting r at a time. So these r objects, they can be arranged among themselves in factorial r ways. Similarly, these r objects, they can be arranged among themselves in factorial r ways, like this. So you have NCR number of combinations. So it means total number of arrangements will be what? Total number of arrangements, total number of arrangements would be what? R factorial into NCR, because each combination contains r factorial permutations, arrangements, and you have NCR number of combinations. The total number of arrangements should be r factorial into NCR. Okay. Now, if we say there are n objects, okay, arrange n objects taken r at a time, right? So it means arranging n objects in r places, that is NPR. So here r factorial into NCR equal to NPR. So we can conclude here r factorial into NCR equal to NPR. This implies your NCR equal to, as you know, NPR equal to what? N factorial by n minus r factorial. Okay, so NCR equal to NPR divided by r factorial. It would become n factorial by r factorial into n minus r factorial. Okay, this is the formula for NCR. Is it clear? And this you can say relationship between permutation and combination. Okay, next come to what is the difference? The difference between permutation and combination. Permutation, so let us write like this. Permutation, combination, what is the basic difference between the two? Okay, so that is very, very important, because if you know the difference between permutation and combination, it will be easier for you to solve the question. Okay, because yeah, otherwise it's very, very confusing. Okay, in this chapter, no, children basically face this problem. They know the formula, they know the calculation, everything they know. Only thing is the confusion in identifying whether permutation to be used here, combination. Okay, so first of all, permutation, as we know, it is arrangement of objects, and combination is of objects. Okay, and whenever we say arrangement of objects, so it means, for example, if I write here A, B, C, three objects taken two at a time. So if we want to arrange A, B, B, C, C, A, then B, A, C, B, A, C. So these many arrangements can be possible. But if I say select any two out of three, so you may write here A, B, B, C and A, C. You do not have any other selection here. Okay, it means we have three selections. So, but here basically what I mean to convey you, AB and BA. In permutation, AB and BA, they are different arrangements. Here BC, CB, different arrangements like this. But in case of combination, whether you write AB or BA, so no issue. I mean, writing AB is same as writing BA in case of combination. So it means order of the order in which the objects are taken, that is very important here, right? And I mean basically order is taken into consideration. In case of combination, order, yeah, order is not considered. Order of the object is not considered. Is it clear? So because arranging this and selecting this. Okay, suppose from the class, I mean, suppose out of 30 students, 5 students to be selected. Okay, you take any 5 students. Suppose somebody calls, okay, just send any 5 students. So it doesn't matter whether they are, I mean, they are working as a group. Okay, so you are grouping. It means the group contains 5. So, I mean, in which order, that is not a problem. Is it clear? Okay, so basically these are the two very basic differences. Okay, so in combination, ordering of the selected objects is immaterial. So even if you select the objects now, so order is immaterial. Order is not considered. But in a permutation, this ordering is essential because AB and BA, two different arrangements, right? Okay. So whenever you take three objects like ABC, BCA, CAB, well, like various arrangements can be possible. I mean, six arrangements can be there. But whenever you take combination ABC, you take three. I mean, all at a time. So ABC, only one selection, only one group. Okay. Now let's find out, yeah, some basic results. So till now we have studied what is a permutation, what is relationship between permutation and combination, and also the basic difference between permutation and combination. Okay, so one of the result is very important. First, I will write here as theorem 1. Yeah, prove that NCR equal to NCN minus R. Okay, so this theorem specifically will help us in doing the calculation in an easy way. So let me take RHS. Now NC n minus R equal to what? Factorial n. Factorial n minus R. Then you can write n minus n plus R. Okay. So it means you are getting here factorial n. So this n minus n will be cancelled. So here R factorial, and here it is n minus R factorial. Okay. So this is what n factorial by R factorial into n minus R factorial is nothing but your NCR. So NC n minus R equal to NCR, or you can say NCR equal to NC n minus R. Okay, so where can we use it? For example, if you have to find out 100C98 and 100C2. These are same thing. So if you know 100C2, you can write 100C98 directly, right? Okay, so this is the basic, you can say, utility of this small theorem. Okay, next one is, yeah, here, let me just refer to the book. Yeah, this is also one of the important theorem, theorem 2. Okay, theorem 2, NCR plus NCR minus 1, that is equal to N plus 1 CR. Okay, now here you see, we will start with LHS. Now NCR means factorial N, factorial R, factorial N minus R, quickly we will do it, plus N factorial, this is R minus 1 factorial, फिर N minus R plus 1 factorial. Okay, now you can take N factorial common, then R factorial, R minus 1 factorial, means R minus 1 factorial can be taken common. N minus R factorial, N minus R plus 1. So N minus R plus 1 is next to N minus R. That means it contains N minus R. Take N minus R factorial common. So here you are getting 1 by R, because R factorial, here we have taken R minus 1 factorial, right? Plus 1 by R minus 1 factorial already taken, N minus R plus 1, here N minus R already we have taken. Okay, so you will be left with N minus R plus 1. So this is equal to N factorial R minus 1 factorial into N minus R factorial. Okay, just write as it is. Now here R into N minus R plus 1. N minus R plus 1 plus R. Okay, now you see the bracketed quantity. Here you have N factorial, here N plus 1. So N factorial into N plus 1 is your N plus 1 factorial. This much calculation we can do directly. Now here R minus 1 factorial into R. That gives us R factorial. N minus R factorial into N minus R plus 1. So that gives us N minus R plus 1 factorial. Just one more step. N plus 1 factorial divided by R factorial, N plus 1 minus R factorial. Can we write like this? N minus R plus 1 can be written as N plus 1 minus R. So if you observe here, N plus 1 factorial by R factorial into N plus 1 minus R factorial. So this is nothing but N plus 1 CR, right? So we wanted this now N plus 1 CR. So this is your RHS, hence proved. Okay, is clear? Okay, now you see, so these are some of the theorems I just wanted to study this. Okay, so one more very good thing I just want to tell you. Yeah. Yes. So here, yeah, third, you can take a theorem or any concept basically to find total number of combinations, total number of combinations of n different things, n different things, total number of combinations of n different things taken any number of, taking any number of them, taken any number of time, taken any number of them at a time. Okay, any number of them at a time. So what does it mean? Just let me explain. The total number of combinations of n different things, taken any number of them at a time. It means you may take one at a time, you may take two at a time, you may take three at a time, like this. Okay, so this is also very interesting. So n things, all different, are given. Each thing can be, you can deal with each object, either it is included or excluded, right? So either included hoga, yeah, it will not be included. The first thing, yeah, so it means what you can write here, first thing can be dealt with in a number of ways. Okay, two number of ways basically. If you write here, first thing can be dealt with two different ways. Okay, two different ways, two different ways. So these two different ways क्या है? Either it is included or excluded. Okay, selected or not selected. Excluded. Okay, sorry. Excluded. Okay, now you come to second. Second thing can be dealt with, again, two different ways, included or excluded. Third thing will be done. Third thing will be dealt with, again, two different ways, include होगा या exclude होगा. Like this you continue. Nth thing, nth object can be dealt with, again, two different ways. Okay, so either it will be included or excluded. The total number of ways, these n objects will be selected. Yeah, so I am not writing the whole thing. Total number of ways will be what? 2 into 2 into 2. We are using fundamental principle of counting. Okay. Now this is n times. You are multiplying 2 n times, which is equal to 2 to the power n. So basically here 2 to the power n, that is what? Whenever we take the combinations of n different things, taken any number of them at a time. So just to put in another word, whenever you take, at least one, if you start from there also. That means whenever, yeah, any number of time means we may not take any number. We may take one or two or three or four, like this. So to put in other words, what we can write here, basically NC0 plus NC1 plus NC2 plus NC3 plus NCn. This is equal to 2 to the power n. So this is also one of the important result. Okay. So NC0, so whenever it is written, no, any number of time. You can take any number of them at a time. So you may take, out of n objects, you may not select any, or you may select one object, or you may select two objects, or you may select three objects, or going on like this, you may select all the objects. So in mathematically we write like this: NC0 plus NC1 plus NC2 plus NC3 and so on. up to 2 to the power n. That is equal to this result. Okay, so if you have, yeah, so if you write here total number of ways in which one or more things are taken. Okay, it's just little bit total number of ways in which one or more, or at least one or more objects are taken at a time, are selected or taken, one or more objects are selected at a time. So whenever it is given one or more objects, no, that means this one or more means you will be taking one or two or three like this. So what we will not be taking? This we will not be taking. Okay, so this is equal to 2 to the power n minus 1. So before that, no, yeah, let me just tell you, if we write NC0, that is factorial n factorial 0 n minus 0 factorial. So you are getting 1 here. Okay, NCn equal to NC0 because NCr equal to NCn minus r. That is 1. Okay, so there are few things, no, so you may remember these things. NC0 equal to 1, NCn equal to 1. If I write NC1, it will be what? Let's see, n factorial, 1 factorial, n minus 1 factorial. Okay, so it means n factorial by n minus 1 factorial. That is your n. So NC1 equal to n. Okay, three things. NC0 equal to 1, NCn equal to NC0, that is 1, then NC1 equal to n. Is it clear? Okay, so now maybe the basics are over now. So I will take just two questions in which permutation and combination will be mixed. Okay, so then you will be able to identify. Okay, first question is, how many words each of three vowels and two consonants can be formed from the letters of the word involute? So you are given what? You are given the word involute. Question is, how many words, how many words each of three vowels, each of three vowels, we are not taking all at a time, three vowels and two consonants. Two consonants can be taken. Okay, how many words each of three vowels and two consonants can be formed? Okay, this is the question. Now you see involute 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. But we have to consider three vowels and two consonants. Now let's separate them. I, O, U, I, O, U, E. These are the vowels we have. Then N, V, N, V, L, T. Yes. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. So these many consonants are there. So while selecting, one thing you have to see, you have to select three vowels. Obviously vowels to be searched from vowel only. And similarly, two consonants. Consonants you will be searching from here. So you may write here three vowels. Three vowels out of four can be selected. Can be selected. Can be selected in how many ways? 3 vowels out of 4 can be selected in 4C3 ways. You are selecting here. And two consonants out of 4 can be selected in how many ways? Out of 4 you are selecting 2. Okay, now you have selected, right? But you have to form the words. So to form the words, no, you have to arrange. Okay, आपने selection किया 3 vowels and 2 consonants. It means you have selected 5 alphabets. So unless you arrange them, no, you cannot form different words. So here you see, you have to use permutation, right? Okay, so these five alphabets, or you can write here 5 letters, can be arranged in factorial 5 ways. Did you understand? Because why factorial 5? Because once you select them, no, you just select and just put it in one place. So you cannot get different words unless you arrange the letters. So it means total number of words will be how many? Total number of words will be 4C3 into 4C2 into factorial 5. 4C3 you can calculate factorial 4, factorial 3, factorial 1. Or you may write here, no, 4C3 equal to 4C1. 4C1 equal to 4. Done? Okay. Into 4C2 factorial 4, factorial 2, factorial 2. So factorial 4 is 24, 24 by 4. That is 6. Okay. 5 factorial is 120. Okay. So how many words you will be getting here? 120, 24. 2880. Okay, so this is one of the, you can say, question where permutation and combination both are used. Okay, one more last question. We will wind up the class. Okay, so here you see how many lines. Yeah, it's from NCERT. How many lines? First part, lines are in the bracket, it's written chords. Okay, yes. How many lines are chords? Second part is triangle. Triangle can be drawn through a point in a circle. Through the points on a circle. Okay, this is the question. The first part is how many lines or how many chords can be drawn through the points on a circle. So whenever you take points on the circle, no, so for every chord you need 2 points. Okay, so it means that can be done in how many ways? How many lines can be drawn or how many chords? Even if you take the diagonal, no, it is also longest chord, right? So out of how many points? Yeah, if you have n number of points, no, through n points on the, this is n number of points to n points on a circle. So you can write, since for a line or chord we need minimum 2 points. The 2 points out of n can be taken in NC 2 ways. You can write it factorial n factorial 2 factorial n minus 2. So n minus 2 n minus 1 n. So n minus 1 into n divided by 2. Okay. So this is how many lines. In second part, how many triangles can be formed. So for a triangle, you need 3 points. Okay, 3 non-collinear points. So triangle can be drawn by joining any three of, any three of the n given points. And of course, we are assuming these are, not collinear. So that is very simple. You can write here MC3 waves, right? Yes, MC3 waves. So this is one of the good questions. And one more last, I will take, I thought this is last question, but okay, one more last. So if I write here, yeah, a polygon has 44 diagonals. Find the number of sides. Okay, polygon has 44 diagonals. 44 diagonals. Find number of sides. Find the number of sides. Okay, so quickly I'll be doing it here only. So whenever you take any polygon, so let n be the number of vertices, a number of sides of the polygon. Okay, so whenever you write here number of sides, okay, let n be the number of sides of the polygon. So now whenever you join any 2 points on the polygon, no, either you get a diagonal or a side. Suppose for example you take like this. This is a polygon for example. So whenever you join these two, you are getting a diagonal. Whenever you are joining these two, you are getting a side. So by joining any 2 points on the polygon, either you will be getting a diagonal or a side. Number of sides is fixed, right? N. So it means you can write here, yeah. So any 2 points first you have to select, that is NC2, and this NC2 contains both sides and diagonals. Number of diagonals 44 given a. So subtract 44 from here. Okay, so that is equal to what? N, or you can say NC2 equal to N plus 44, right? So I'm sure you can solve it now. Factorial N. We just have found now NC2 equal to N minus 1 into N divided by 2, then minus N equal to 44. Okay, so this implies what you are getting here. Yeah, N square minus N minus 2N. So N square minus 3N. Yes, minus 3N. Then you can write here, yeah, this is 2. So 88 minus 88 equal to 0. So N square minus 3N minus 88 equal to 0. So you can write here 11 and 8. Okay. So N minus 11. Okay. Then you can write here N plus 8. That is equal to 0. But N equal to minus 8 not possible. So N equal to 11. Okay. So number of, yeah, what is the question? Yeah, number of, find the number of sides, right? Diagonal number is given. Find the number of sides of the polygon. Okay, so your n equal to 11. Okay, there are 11, yeah, sides of the polygon. Okay, So now I think we have to wind up the class. Thank you so much for your patience and your cooperation.